Hey, we're back for the day 2 start, trying to sand down some of the finishes. I have shop towels. Viva Mott would work, but I went ahead and got these because I was at Lowe's and figured why take a chance. I'm going to go ahead and tear out a couple to have them here ready. I have a washcloth. Who knows why, but I'll probably need it. We have the Scotch-Brite Heavy Duty. That's the green pads. They're pretty textured. We have the Scotch-Brite non-scratch. They're pretty soft and not very rough. So that's going to be like a finer grit sandpaper if it were sandpaper. And then I got the dust channeling, and I meant to cut these in half. I'm going to grab a pair of scissors and cut these in half so it won't be so much in my hand. And I have water in my thing today. In case I need to dampen the shop towels or whatever to wet distress. And I apologize for the last video cutting off. My phone was full. I did go ahead and, as I discussed, do this top edge brown, and I went ahead and did the inside as the first coat. See, we have a little bit of bleed through. I'm gonna put some paper or something down in there anyway, and then it's just painted the rest of the way around. I'll just have to guess which is which based on how they feel. And it actually feels like this one feels rougher on this side, smoother on this side, and vice versa with this one. So maybe that's the answer. Oh, and I have my little mister bottle down here too, just in case I decide to mist, because we are trying new tools today, right? And we want the roughest one first, and I'm going to try it with just the green pad. It is making dust. It's making a good bit of dust. I'm going to switch to one of the sandpapers. And this one feels the roughest, so I'm gonna believe that that one's probably the 80. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I'm already seeing the next color down right there. Can you see that? Loving that. I'm able to see a little bit near about down. I guess that's down to, it's not all, well, as I'm going, it's getting all the way down to the weathered wood a little bit. It's just what we want. If you're sensitive to anything, it would probably also be a good idea. I thought my dust collecting thing would not make as much dust as it is, so it would be smart to have on a mask if you have allergies or breathing issues or just want to be extra careful. This is a non-toxic paint. I'm not as worried about it. But if you're using another brand or something like that, that would be a smart idea. If you're not using a chalk-based or clay-based paint like this, it's not going to sand off this easy anyway. And remember, this is, you know, still looking pale and everything right now. But when we put the top coat on and the top coat and the wax and all that stuff, it's going to really brighten these colors back up and really show a little more difference. I can now see at least 3 colors peeping through there. And, well, there's the 4th a little bit. That's what we're going for. And we're, you know, gonna get some of the detail going through this way, but we're gonna put more of the dark detail back in with the dark wax at the end. But we do want to make it look aged and distressed and have a few colors coming through. I'm gonna switch back to this now and see how that goes. Doing it with by hand like this. It's going to take me probably 2 or 3 hours to sand this whole piece. We're wanting this to be really smooth, and that's the purpose of going from the sandpaper to the textured piece that's not as rough as the sandpaper to the almost polishing piece. This isn't as soft as a polishing piece would be, but it's almost, which is, you know, we still want it to have the feel of a little bit of texture, but not a whole lot. So we're not wanting to smooth it out like it's a piece of glass. We're wanting to, but it does feel good. And it's good here. And what I keep doing this way is feeling for the texture that's still there, knowing I can go down and get to another color right there. See all the other colors coming through? That's the goal. I'm gonna try to get, let's do a little bit of the wet distressing just around those edges, and that way we can see both of it together. Dampen my little shop towel here. See, I just kind of stuck it in water in the middle. And got more on there than I wanted to. Just going around these edges, and I wanted to get down to the weathered wood at least a little bit more around those edges. And I believe that dampening it in this way and then maybe going over it with the soft one. To be careful not to lay this on the table because it would start taking the paint off of there. Oh yeah, baby. A little more in this corner. A little more wet up there. Go with the green one. And you don't even have to, it can all be done with the wet cloth. You don't have to go back over it with this. I like things to go fast. I'll do a little more on this piece so you can see I'm going to dampen it a little bit more. Okay, I've dampened most of the top edge of this piece, which is going to have us go down a good bit on that, but it's still not going to be, and it's still in the crevices a little bit are going to stay the other colors, and then under that will be the dark wax later. See how much easier that's making it dark right there? As we're going through those layers so much faster. I don't want to go all the way through. Remember, this was a gray piece that we made out of the epoxy sculpt. You can see where the water makes it a little bit darker, but that's going to go right back away as it dries. I'm going to put this down and work on the top so that you can see how that's going to go. How much dust is on here? That's the paint that we just, the dried clay that we just took off of the other layer. And let's start with the rough sanding. How it's starting to come through. That's already smoothing out a little bit, but it's showing the other colors through. I will sand lightly this entire top just to make this not be so solid. But we're not going to sand it a lot, but just enough where each of the colors will show through a little bit through the process. Let's see, here's our wet one. Awesome, it's coming out. Working. We don't want it to be so hard that it goes through to the wood, just down to our first coat of paint. And you could do this with any colors. This could be showing through pinks and teals and yellows and greens. Anything you want it to. It doesn't have to just be all similar muted colors. And when I'm doing these next layers, I'm gonna go, you know, I'll probably still do it round, but then go back over it along with the brush strokes all the way over. I'm not gonna like willy-nilly it all over. I'm gonna keep up with my brush strokes. So I hope you enjoyed that today. If you have any questions on this portion, just let me know, and I will be back when this portion's done. Just gonna keep doing the same exact thing. We're gonna keep doing it over and over and over until we get it all done and move on to the next part. That does look very nice.